What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so yesterday we saw the third game in the best of seven first round series between the Orlando Magic and the Boston Celtics. And Boston, of course, is heavily favored to win this series between the second and seventh seeds. But in game three, Orlando was able to take advantage of a pathetic 11-point third quarter in which the Celtics were not able to overcome. And they got the victory 95-93. For the Orlando Magic, they were led by their normal group. Paolo Banchero had 29 points in this game. Franz Wagner had 32 points. And Wendell Carter Jr., 10 points and 12 rebounds for the Orlando Magic. The Magic only shot 41% from the floor and only 25% from three-point range. And they're not a good three-point shooting team. I believe they take fewer threes than any other team in the NBA. And I think their percentage is either at the bottom or near the bottom. But they were 19 of 26 from the line. And that was key to their victory. So what I'm getting at is that their defense and physicality were keys for this win. The score, 95-93. That's more indicative of the playoff games we grew up watching in the 90s, especially the mid to late 90s and 2000s. You know, that era where the pace was slower. That type of pace in this series, and I guess any series that Orlando's in, will favor the Orlando Magic. And Jason Tatum, I can't knock him this game. He played like a superstar this game. It wasn't his fault. 36 points. I know I'm critical of him, but he had 36 of the 93 points, 10 of 22 from the floor, a perfect 12 of 12 from the line. He also had 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He was clearly their best player. He didn't get much help. Jaylen Brown needed maybe he needed to be a little bit more offensive aggressive. I mean, he had an okay game, 19 points, 7 of 14. 1 of 2 from three-point range, 4 or 5 at the line. Kristaps Porzingis only 7 points in this ball game, and for a guy who was talking about, we're not going to be punked, and I think it was after game 2. Well, you need to be a little bit more productive, Kristaps, especially when you look at the fact that Drew Holiday was not available. And you can make the argument, man, maybe if Drew Holiday was available, this would be an overwhelming 3-0 lead. But woulda, coulda, shouldas. Derek White has 16 points in this contest. But as I said, it was not enough at the end. And Orlando has now made this a series. It's just interesting. That shows you just how important game threes are in these playoff series. If the other team goes up 3-0, history tells us with only a handful of exceptions, when a team goes up 3-0, the series doesn't go further than 6 games. Only been like 3 or 4 times, I think 3 or 4 instances where the team down 3-0 in any playoff series in the NBA has forced a game 7. Ironically, I believe the Celtics did it. I think they were down 3-0 against Miami a couple years ago. I think it was 2023, and they forced the game 7 only to lose. So yeah, and another thing I need to touch on is Jaylen Brown was complaining about this. Other Celtics are complaining about this. Celtics fans are complaining about this. They think that Orlando is getting away with being too physical. They're complaining that they're beating up the Celtics. You know, that it's not fair. They're getting away with fouling. And I'm sorry, man. It's the fucking playoffs, man. Shut up. It's just, I don't know. Like, yeah, I get it. I understand. When it's your team, when it's your team that you're rooting for, every little negativity you see is a affront. It's like a personal affront to you that they're doing this to your squad. But man, it's the playoffs, man. I love physicality. I'm sorry, man. I'm an 80s baby. I'm an 80s baby and a 90s kid. And I love the old physical. I'm telling you, people look at me funny when I say this. My favorite era of the NBA was the late 90s, 2000s, before the rule changes. 96, 97 to 2004. I didn't like when they changed, they started opening up the game in 05. Fuck that. I like those grinded out 71, 69 games. I don't care. Everybody say it look boring. I love defense. I love seeing a shot blocked to the third row. I love aggressive. I like rooting for the rebounders and the Ben Wallaces and the Dennis Rodmans. That's the NBA I love. To hell with all these pretty boy ass, glossy lipped scorers running around here trying to look cute and pretty. Hell with that mess. Give me back my old NBA with the bruisers. Every team had a goddamn enforcer. Give me that NBA. That's the NBA I want to look at. So getting back to this game, or this series, even though Boston's up 2-1, and I expect Boston to win, right? We all expect them to win. They won, 61 games this year? Something like that. So they won 60-something games, I believe. They're the better team. They're deeper. They have more experience. All of those qualities, or advantages should give them the edge. But I can't help but think that Orlando has kind of enforced their will a little bit on this series. Like, what I'm getting at is, as this series progresses, if the style of play continues to favor Orlando, this series may go longer than what we initially anticipated. And when you start having teams complaining about calls, to me, that's an indication that you're getting under that team's skin. So one of two things are going to happen the next game, in my opinion. Either Boston's going to come out and beat the hell out of this team. I don't know whether Drew Holiday will be available then. Or Orlando, if they're allowed to, because all of this signaling is trying to tell the refs, hey, this team's being too physical. Stop, swallowing your whistle and call it. We're the Boston Celtics. So if they don't do that and Orlando is able to play their style of game for the entirety of this series, then, hey, things can get interesting. But I have to say this, too, at the end. I don't want to keep hearing people complain about the NBA being too soft, but then you're saying Orlando's being too physical, especially in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, I've been looking at some of the calls they be making, what they be calling flagrants in this NBA, man. It's like, man, just change the name of the league to the WNBA 2.0 or something, man. Right? Just whatever. But anyway, I can't even say that because the WNBA is more physical than the NBA. But that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.